The time is now. Right now. This is the hour. This is the new dawn. This is the new day. Now is the time. For nature in all her glory hath named you her king. She has named you the king.
This that feeling we need more of.
So, long time no see, guys. It has been since the last video, the last edited video of the Apocalyptic Trilogy, since I've actually done some editing. This video is going to be about a new hardest, and I've been working a while on this level, and I'm actually pretty proud of myself for beating this. This has always been like a big goal of mine, a big dream of mine since I even started playing the game. Like the first week, the first month, I was like looking at like all these hard levels in the game, and I found Phobos, and it looked pretty cool. It looked cool. The gameplay looked pretty intimidating. So I mean, I was just pumped to like see myself like beat that in the future, which it took me a year to beat it. Well, I mean, I wasn't like on and off playing it for a year, but I've really had the goal of beating it for a year. So, and I've been progressing by just beating like all sorts of demons: easy, medium, hard, insane, and extreme. So, I mean, but yeah, and then this is my 5th extreme demon, which I'm pretty proud of, which I thought I would never beat 5 extreme demons, but you know, I just beat my 5th extreme demon, Phobos, and coincidence, it's my 92nd demon, demon in general. So, and Phobos has a pretty interesting history with the number 92. There's a certain YouTuber who died there, and yeah, let's not get into details about that. So, but I am very excited to tell you guys about this level. I'm excited to talk about it and to showcase it and to actually show y'all my completion. So without further ado, Editor Parallax, let's transition over to the parts of the level, shall we? So, starting off Phobos, we have the pre-drop, which is Phobos' part. This part is genuinely easy. It gets really consistent after like 10 minutes of practice, and like it's probably the easiest part of the level. Next we have Honey's part, or like Honeybee, Honeybee. I don't know what this part of the name is, but Honey's part is just the wave, and it takes some practice to get used to, but to be honest, it's also pretty easy. Then we have Technic's part, which is just the mini memory cube. Again, it takes like 10 minutes to learn. It's not super complicated. It's just a couple buffers and all that. Next, we have GMT Sean's part, which is the UFO after Technic's part. GMT Sean's part is the hardest part of the pre-drop, and it has like one of the most awkward click patterns of the whole level. It's tough. It takes like an hour to get used to, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It gets really consistent though, like within the last like week of me playing this level. It did get pretty consistent, so I mean that is pretty good at least. So yeah. Next we have the drop. The drop consists of Jobet's part, which Jobet is the drop ship. Jobet's part is pretty easy. It's just some wide open stray fly with a couple mirror portals and gravity portals. Next we have Eduardo. I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. This part is just a pretty memory-based wave. I mean, it's not really memory, but you got to like memorize the click pattern. Like for me, the click pattern was just the same. The wave looks easy, but it's actually really hard. It looks easy, but yeah. Next we have Eyeblade's part, which Eyeblade is just this red ball followed by the wave. Which this wave is actually like really challenging. It is like the tightest wave of the whole level. It is pretty difficult. It is really chokeable, and I've died here a lot from zero, so that is that. Next we have Pallery's part, which is just this wide open like ship part, followed by this like invisible wave part, which takes like a minute, 2 minutes to learn. and to be honest, Powder's part's pretty easy. Then we have Smoke's part, which is just this memory ball followed by a memory UFO. Again, this part takes like maybe 10-15 minutes to learn, and to like learn when to click and like the click patterns and all that. But it's pretty easy, to be honest. Next, we have Joe's part, or formerly Joe 2000. This part is really chokeable. It's this like tight ship with a bunch of slopes and spikes. It's pretty tight. It's a lot harder than it looks, but it gets a little consistent. Then it's followed by this like really tight 3x speed wave, which does get consistent, but is pretty chokeable, to say the least. Next, we have Dream Eater's part, which this part is pretty easy if you do memorize like the click patterns and like where to click and all that. And to be honest, it's just a really straightforward part, except for the ending where like a wave, and then you have to transition over to Tegrasec's part, which speaking of Tegrasec, that's the next part. This part is just a dual ship that is straightforward if you know how to do it. The transition into this part is really bad and is widely known as the worst transition in the level. And it's basically a wave to ship transition, which really is never good. You have to like line your wave up perfectly with this Q portal and then with the ship portal. So I mean, if you don't, then your ships will end up looking like this, which they are really unaligned. And yeah, that is really it for Tegrasec's part. So after Tegrasec, we have Iquar 99. Iquar 99's part is just this asymmetrical duel. It's ball and UFO, which those two game modes should not go together. But I mean, the gameplay is nice. It gets fairly consistent. Sometimes you click a little early, sometimes you click a little late. Sometimes you die at 62, which is a little frustrating. Which whenever you're doing an asymmetrical duel, like far into the level, yeah, it gets pretty annoying. But I rarely had any problems with this part except for Vortrox. He had a lot of issues with this part. So yeah, but it's a pretty straightforward asymmetrical duel. It takes like 30 minutes to learn the click patterns and all that stuff. Next is Skitten's part, which Skitten's part is just this like little straight fly, couple orb clicks into like a UFO with like this like 1-2 1-2 like UFO click patterns, and yeah, that's really it. Next is Cubson's part, which is this like greenish black part, which looks pretty cool, but the transition into it will kill you a couple times from zero. It's basically this like blind ship transition into like this little like tight gap with an orb in the middle, and if you hit the orb, then you'll be sent flying up towards the spike, or if you like press the orb just after the spike, you will be sent up to this saw blade right here. So it's again one of the hardest transitions in the level, but I mean it gets somewhat consistent. Next is Andromeda's part and Kainarvon 725. I don't know how to say that name, but basically it's this like red ship, and it's actually really short, which I'm a little bummed because Andromeda is a really talented creator. But yeah, that's really it for that. Next is this really ugly looking ball. This is Razor's part, and this ball, I have beef with it. I have a lot of problems with this ball. It has killed me a lot from zero. It has some really awkward gameplay. The click pattern is also really awkward. It's probably as bad as Sean's part. Like, it is ridiculously hard. Next is Woogie's part. Woogie's part is just the UFO with the crappy double click at this gap right here, and which basically forces you to play with two hands, so which is ridiculous. But and then it's followed by this like ship, and then straight fly, and then the line at 87%. This line has killed me 3 times from zero, and it is a wonky transition that will probably throw you off the first time you even get to it. It is really weird, and the reason why there's a line is because like back in the day there was like a start position bug, and start positions is basically where you just play from a certain point of the level to practice, and it's just a good way of practicing. But with like start positions, like back then there was a glitch, so they had to add like a little line for support so you don't like fall into the spike or something, or at least that's what I think was the problem. So basically, they kept the line in to like modern standards, and it's killed me 3 times. And say if you go too low, you die to the spike. You go too high, you either hit your head on this platform or you die to these 2 spikes, which I've died to the spikes before. And then, so I've died twice to the line itself, where you like directly fly into the line, and I've died going too high over the line. So, but yeah, that's really it. Next is Rick Crerez's part, which is this last ship. It's pretty straightforward. It's like just memory that's a little sight readable, but it's like not really sight readable. But it's really chokeable from 0, and thankfully I never died here from 0. And a certain someone has. I've already talked about him before, but yeah. But that's really it about the parts. And yeah, this level is just a 2-minute long piece of garbage that, I heavily regret playing this level, but it's a huge accomplishment to finally beat something harder than Bloodbath, and yeah, that's really it for the parts. So let's just start off with why I wanted to do this level. It was basically because like I just wanted to beat something harder than Bloodbath, and I saw Phobos, and it was a pretty iconic level that actually dethroned Bloodbath on the demon list. If you guys don't know what the demon list is, it's just basically a leaderboard showing like what the hardest levels are. And Phobos back in the day, back in like 2016, 2015, dethroned Bloodbath on the demon list, which is pretty cool. And I basically wanted to beat the level that beat Bloodbath on the demon list. So, and here I am now. I actually did beat it. So it was a cool level. I didn't really care for all the decoration because it's a little inconsistent. Like you go from like this like red health theme to like this crappy 2.0 update vomit. Like, by the way, if you guys don't know what like 2.0 and like 1.9 decoration style is, it's just basically like a style people used to use back in like the update. Like there was a lot of updates with the game, and so like with the updates came like new decoration styles. So, but yeah, then I just basically wanted to play it, and I had a pretty bad time with it. This is most definitely a new mental hardest. It was much mentally harder than Aftermath. So. Alright, what's going on, guys? This is probably going to be the last part of the video, because this video is getting a little too long. As we're saying this, the video is 14 minutes long, so we got to speed run through this tier list. And we are joined here by a friend of mine who has been in the journey for a while. His name is Tricky Treasure, and say hi, Tricky.
Yeah, what's good, chap?
Alright, so we have all of these parts. And it's all the parts of Phobos. So, immediately starting off the tier list, we have to put this into the line tier, because this part is buns, and I died here 3 times from 0. And it's at 87%, and it's part of Woogie's part, but I don't care. So actually starting off the tier list, we have Kobaz's part. I would say Kobaz isn't hard. It has cool deco. I'm gonna say a solid A to S tier. I'm probably gonna say S here. I'm not gonna lie. Do you agree, Tricky? Do you agree?
Low-key, Kobaz is underrated. I think it deserves more stuff for a level like Phobos.
Yeah, like
deserves more like.
Yeah, Kobaz is just like the legendary intro to the level. It's the pre-drop, or starting the pre-drop, but yeah, now we have Honeybee or Honey's part. This part is just a black and white wave that does really get consistent, and it's really wide open. This part's not really that cool. I'm probably gonna give it a high A tier, probably because it's just easy and it has interesting deco, but the gameplay can be a little awkward sometimes. Now we have.
What's really strange is like the random green line that appears on one of the structures.
Yeah.
When you keep playing.
Yeah. Next you have Technit's part. This is just the memory cube in the pre-drop. I would say this part is also pretty good, so I'm gonna put this above Honey's part, then to A tier. Do you agree with this, Tricky?
Yeah, low-key, TechNet is probably showing off the peak 1.9 structuring that 1.9 structuring can be.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Then Sean's part, we're gonna immediately drop this into D tier. Look, okay, Sean's part has good deco, except there's two flaws with this part. For one, that there's a like a visual bug at the bottom, that is just pretty annoying to look at, which is not really noticeable whenever you're playing, but like whenever you're like looking at the level, watching someone play it, it's just bothering you. And the gameplay has the most awkward like click pattern in the level. It is the hardest part of the pre-drop. I do not like this part. Next we have the dropship, aka Jobet's part. I would say this is like, again, one of the most iconic parts of Phobos. So I'm gonna give it like right next to Kobaz, but it's not as good as Kobaz. So we're gonna put it in like low S tier. Do you agree?
Yeah, low-key, although some of the transitions can be annoying.
Yeah.
In early stages of the level, but once you get used to it, it's easy.
Yeah. That is true. But this guy hasn't even beaten Phobos yet, but he's gotten some good runs on it, so. Next we have Eduardo Earl. I don't know what this part is. It's the wave part after the dropship. This part is also pretty difficult. It has interesting decoration. It has interesting gameplay. Again, the gameplay is like more of like on the awkward side, so probably gonna give it like C tier. It's not that good, but it is what it is. We have Eyeblade. We're also dropping this straight in the D tier because the gameplay again is awkward, and like at the ballpark
are awkward.
Yeah, the hitboxes, the gravity portals in the wave is just wonky at some points. And then the ball has like super tight like Bloodbath Michigan timing, so I mean, but next we have Pallery's part. Pallery's part isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. The ship and like the invisible wave after has pretty interesting gameplay, has interesting deco. I'm gonna give it like B tier because it's not that great, but it is.
But it's just very short. It's quite short as well.
Yeah. Next you have Smoke's part, which is again like Pallery. It has interesting deco and it's also pretty short, and it has like memory gameplay. And this part basically has like two like deco schemes. Like the first part, the ball is green, and then the UFO is like pink for whatever reason. So I'm probably gonna give it a little higher than Pallery here, but this will still be in B tier. Next we have Joe's part, aka Joe 2000's part. This is like a choke point of the level. It's at 51%, the ship and the wave. So I'd give this part actually low A tier because again, it's also a pretty iconic part of the level, and it's just pretty cool. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'd say just if you hold too long, don't expect to get far in the level.
Yeah. Next we have Dream Eater's part, which is this like calm and relaxing ship. Honestly, I'm probably gonna put this above Technit. We're actually gonna put it in high A tier because the gameplay is like relaxing. It has a pretty simple click pattern. It's pretty short, which kind of sucks, but you know it's a pretty fun part to play, to be honest. Tigersec, putting this into D tier as well. It is really bad. I'm actually gonna move Eyeblade above Sean because Eyeblade was better than Sean. Obviously, Tigersec's part is like one of the worst parts of the level. It has the worst duel. It can sometimes throw you off because the ships are like unaligned, and you know, and I've died to this part a lot from 0, and because it's at 58%, it's just far into the level, so, which made me really upset when I kept dying there. Next we have Iquar 99's part. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I'm gonna give it high A tier, only for the sole reason because the gameplay flows nice. It gets consistent, except for a couple people. Some people think this part is like one of the worst parts of the level, but in my opinion, it's actually pretty cool. It has interesting like lime green decoration, and you know, it is what it is. Do you agree, Tricky?
Yeah, it's just a simple asymmetrical duel. It's not that hard to learn. That's all that's necessary. It's just like a nice sort of green theme. Not much to say, really.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Next we have Skitten's part, which is this like stressful straight fly with some orb clicks. It's like this like UFO part. I would say this is also like one of the more like stressful parts. This is also gonna probably go into like high B tier, only for the sole reason because it's like stressful. I've actually choked here a couple times, and you know, but it's pretty far into level. This is like where you start like your heart begins to race and all that. So it's really it for that. Next we have this green part with a little bit of ship, and then you got the wave. This part is honestly pretty cool. It has interesting gameplay, but the deco is really nice. I like the deco in this part. I'm gonna give it low B tier, only for the sole reason because the transition into it's really bad, and then the gameplay itself is not that great. Andromeda's part, which is like the hell themed ship, I'm gonna give it C tier, only for the reason because it's short. This is where like your heart really begins to race, and like, you know, Andromeda could have done more. He's a really talented creator, but yeah, that's really it. Next we have Razor's part, dropping this into D tier as well. We're gonna above Tigersec because I've actually died to the ball less than Tigersec, so. But the deco of Razor's part is the worst in the level. It just looks.
It's just like beginning of 2.0. Most levels just look like this.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how to use it.
Yeah. It just looked like pure garbage. So. Next we have Woogie's part, which Woogie's part by itself is not bad. This is like where you can like really choke. This is like the UFO corridors with some tight ball timings into a straight fly. I'm gonna give this part actually low A tier, maybe above Honeybee's or Honey's part. Actually, maybe above Technet's part. The reason why I'm putting it this high is because the gameplay flows nice. It gets really consistent. So, but then like the final straight fly just has so much aura with the saws moving around, which is pretty cool and all that. So I'm gonna give it like mid A tier. Next we have the final part of Phobos. Requez's part, or whatever their name is. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Honestly, I'm gonna give this S tier, only for the sole reason because it's again one of the most iconic parts of the level. Thankfully, I didn't die here, so that's why I'm putting it so high up. If I did die here, straight in the D tier, but thankfully I didn't die here. So, but yeah, that's really it for the tier list. So going over a quick review, we have the final part of Phobos, the invisible ship maze. We have Kobaz's part. We have Jobet's part. Next for A tier, we have Iquar, we have Dream Eater, we have Woogie, Technet, Honey, and then Joe. We have Skitten's part for B, Smokes, Pallery, and then Cubson's part. For C, we have Eduardo's part, and then we have Andromeda's part. And for D tier, as expected, Eyeblade, Sean, Razor, and then Tigersec. And we have our own tier for the line because this is the worst part of the level, to be fairly honest. So, yeah, but that's really it, guys. This is the tier list, and because we are all done, we are gonna go ahead and give out our shout outs for the video. So Editor Parallax, go ahead and transition over to that. So for the shout outs of the video, this segment's just gonna focus on people who have actually been in the VCs with me, who have been there for me through the whole thing, who have been in my Twitch chat, everything. First, shout out to the people on my Discord server. They're amazing. They are really nice people. You guys should join the Discord server. Link is in the description if you guys want to join. So yeah. But first of all, shout out to Tricky. First and foremost, he has been there for me through the whole thing. He has been in calls since Benji has been gone mostly, but yeah, so he's just been there for me. His hardest right now is Allegiance. GG's on Allegiance, Tricky. Huge accomplishment. But again, Tricky, thank you so much for being there for me. It really does mean a lot. So, but enough with Tricky. Shout out to T-Perm and Erg for just being there as well. Even though y'all haven't really been there too much, but still, you guys have been there in the first place. And also thank you guys for competing into the thumbnail contest for this video. Here are the thumbnails on screen that didn't make it onto the actual thumbnail. And then, as you guys know, Tricky had actually won the thumbnail contest, which is really cool. But yeah, that's really it for that. And then shout out to Tom on R for being there in the chat. Shout out to Official Shadow. Shout out to Styrofoam Muncher. Shout out to everyone who's been in my Twitch chat. Shout out to Oreo, even though he's not really been in the Twitch chat too much. He's just been there, just here and there, but he does leave the stream every 5 seconds, so I mean, but that's really it. And I am proud to present my showcase, my completion of Phobos. Here you go. Sure. Okay. I am back. Where are you at?
Star Pause 8.
Star Pause 8. My game's frozen. Okay. You're at Star Pause. What are you doing?
It's called thinking outside the box, buddy.
You're in platformer mode? Wait, hold on, man. Where's
But if you want to be platformer with me as well, you have to be in. You have to be in. You have to exit and reopen the level. Oh my cheeks!
Wait, hold on. Oh! Oh, hi.
Start pause copy, yeah.
Yeah, sure. What? What is this?
Is it free?
What is this?
Galaxy, where are you? Reveal yourself.
Step forth and be recognized.
Yo, I'm here as well.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Oh, where are you at?
Which stop was you
where
at?
Are you at?
No, which stop was you at?
0. Oh, hi.
No, let's just play the level.
Go on 93. I love this part. If you go on 93. This part is so banger. Yeah, I'm just gonna do like the last bit and then join up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start from the beginning of this song. Does that sound good?
Yes. Yo, Eric, join the collab. You don't have to do a big part. Just do a little.
Or you could do like gameplay for a part.
Yeah.
Sure, I can
If she's not confident about that.
No, because the thing is, like, don't let her do it.
I beat Phobos! I beat it! I beat it! I beat it! Yes! 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 Yes!
Fucking go! Finally! Oh my god,
No way.
bro.
What a fucking
Yes!
What the fuck?